Hi, I'm Ryan Williams.
And I'm Alyssa Sardelli, the future Mrs. Ryan Williams, and we hope to become Capital Region's Couple of the Year. In this video, you'll hear us share both sides of our love story and how we have defied all odds and found the meaning of true love.
How did you feel about love before you met?
I'd only been in one serious relationship in my life, and it didn't work out, so I continued to live my life. And after a period of time, I began to think that the term soulmate was just something that didn't apply to me.
Before I met Ryan, I had a few relationships that really made me want to give up on love. My heart was broken several times over and over and over again. Dating wasn't a priority anymore. It was my time to focus on my career, travel, and hang out with my family and friends. And I was focused on my health and fitness too, and I wanted to inspire others to do the same. I really wanted the year 2015 to be the best year of my life.
What was going on in your life just before you met?
There was a lot going on in my life. At the time, I had just moved into a new apartment with a close friend of mine. I had just started a new job that I was really trying to focus on and be successful at. And it was right around the same time when my father, who's had multiple sclerosis since 1999, he had just gotten out of the hospital. There was a complication to surgery that he had, and he was in the ICU for a little while. We came really close to losing him, and it was hard on everybody. So a lot of my time was spent between being at the hospital and being with family.
Well, with so much hope going into 2015, I didn't expect it to start the way that it did. On January 12th, I received a phone call from my doctor with news that would change my life forever. I was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer called triple negative breast cancer, and I was 27 years old at the time. So I immediately collapsed to the floor in shock and in disbelief, and tears were rolling down my face. And I had so many goals and dreams set for myself, and just like that, I felt like everything was being taken away from me. And I remember immediately calling the only people that could make it any better. And I called my parents, and they rushed to my apartment, and they were there by my side, but felt like my life wasn't mine to control anymore, and I felt helpless to it. And about a month later, I had to go on medical leave from work, and that's when I had my double mastectomy with reconstruction. And I was really relieved that the tumor was out of my body, but I wasn't expecting the recovery from the surgery to be one of the most difficult experiences of my life. The next step after that was to start preparing for 16 rounds of chemotherapy. But I was ready for it. I knew I had to do it, and I just had to get through it.
How did you meet?
Alyssa and I met on Tinder. A good friend of mine told me about it, and so I downloaded the app. And at first I thought it was a game to waste time, to just go through pictures and see who's hot, who's not, and it was a great time killing. And it was a great way to take your mind off things. That's when I came across Alyssa. And I saw one picture, even though she had several, and one that I remember that sticks out is her black cocktail dress and her smile. And as soon as I saw that one, I swiped right. So, Tinder.
We met on Tinder. So my friend told me about a dating app called Tinder. And if you know anything about Tinder, you know that there are a ton of fake profiles on there and not many people have success. So I was on there and it was a great time killer as I was recovering from my double mastectomy. So I gave it a shot for a few weeks and my mom would help me swipe left and right through hundreds and hundreds of profiles. But one profile in particular caught my eye, and that was Ryan. So I swiped right, and it was a match. So we were talking to each other, and he would make me laugh out loud for hours and hours as we talked to each other back and forth. And our conversations felt so natural, like we had been friends for years. So I immediately told him everything that I was going through and that I had just had my surgery. And I told him everything that was ahead for me. When some people probably would run away when they hear that a girl has cancer, he didn't. I can't believe that you thought that that was a game.
I wondered that.
Tell us about your first date.
After a couple weeks of talking on the phone and chatting online, we decided to finally meet. So he offered to make me dinner at my apartment since I was still in the process of recovery. And by the way, I did do my research to make sure that he was a real person. But right before the date, I remember shaking and I was so nervous. And I remember calling my friend and telling her about how nervous I was. And she said, "Suck it up, have a glass of wine, you'll be fine." So when I greeted him at the door with a glass of wine in my hand, I was all smiles and all butterflies. And I was also very surprised at how tall he was because he was a lot taller than I thought. So I had such a good time. We had a nice dinner and we sat and talked for hours, and I was relieved that he was everything that I thought he would be and more.
Our first date, we had texted and messaged each other back and forth for about 4 weeks. And I knew right around the first few days that I wanted to meet her, but it took me about 3-4 weeks before I could build up enough courage to actually ask her. So finally I did, and I told her I wanted to make her dinner. She, to my surprise, said yes, and then offered to have dinner at her place. So, we did, and looking back at it now, it worked out, thank God. I brought over the food. I tried something for the first time that she didn't seem to mind, so I chalked that up as a win. So the entire time we're talking, probably talked for hours, and to this day, I couldn't tell you not one thing we talked about. And the reason for that is because I was just so blown away by the fact that this person that's so beautiful and amazing is sitting down and spending time with me, and she's actually smiling at me. And I just couldn't get that notion out of my head. And I was just thinking to myself, don't blow it, 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 don't blow it. So finally, before I could blow it, I decided to leave. And so I stood up and told her thank you for a great night, and I hope we could do it again soon. And so I bent down, gave her a big hug, and I wanted to kiss her so bad, but I thought, I didn't want to be too move fast, so I just gave her a sneak kiss on the cheek. It was a really good first date.
What were your thoughts after the date?
My thoughts after the first date, I was in shock. I was in awe, and I couldn't believe that a first date could go so well. It was too good to be true. And I couldn't wait until I could see him again.
First thing I did after the date was I walked to my car, I closed the door, made sure all of my windows were up, and then I I let out the loudest woo I think I've ever done in my entire adult life. So after that, and I got it together, I drove home, and my roommate was there at the apartment, and he asked how it went, and I told him that I was gonna marry that girl.
What was this cancer journey like together?
First chemo was on March 20th. And I can tell you that the video that they play is hard to watch. And there wasn't a dry eye in that room. And seeing Liz cry was when I made a decision right then and there that no matter what happened or how hard the road was going to be, that I was going to be there for her and make her as absolutely comfortable as possible. And I wanted her to know that she wasn't in this fight alone, and she wouldn't be the only one fighting it.
A month after we started dating is when I had my first chemotherapy treatment. Ryan held my hand at every single session for 5 hours straight. And when I was afraid and scared, he would hold my hand and tell me that everything would be okay when he probably didn't know if I would be. So Ryan definitely held in his fear as best as he could.
The fact that our relationship was still relatively new didn't make a difference to me. We had been through more in a short amount of time together than any other couple that I've ever known. And I found out more about her than I could about any other person. So, relationships are hard enough on their own, but all I knew was I had to be there for her. And just her strength day in and day out gave me strength to put on a brave face and just hide whatever doubts I had, just because I had to. And when you're around a person like her and her positivity, it really truly gave me a real life definition of what hope is.
After my second treatment, my hair started to fall out at Easter dinner when it was meeting Ryan's entire family for the very first time. So I whispered to Ryan that clumps of hair were coming out and that he had to shave my head that night. So he whispered back to me and he said, "You're going to have to shave mine too."
I'm really relieved that she didn't get the nausea that we were worried so much about. Her stamina was affected. She would walk from one room to the next and be completely wiped out for almost 2 days. And that was hard. And I think the next really hard part was when she started to lose her hair. It only took about 10 days for her to start, but it got really bad. Easter. That might have been the hardest part for her. I think something was taken away from her, but to me, she was just as beautiful then as she ever was.
Cancer didn't scare Ryan, and his courage gave me the strength that I needed to keep fighting.
How did all of this affect you?
I made a promise to Alyssa that we would go through chemo together. While I was finally finding success in my new job, I had to sacrifice it in order to keep my promise to her. That meant missing work to be by her side. I mean, at the time, I worked out agreements with my foreman so that way I'd be covered, so I could be there for her treatments. The only thing was, over time, her treatments became more frequent, and because of that, I lost my job. I'm not bitter over any of it, because there wasn't anything that I would change, because I did it for her.
All of this has shown that Ryan and I can get through life's biggest hurdles, and I truly believe that he is my angel and that he came into my life at the perfect time when I needed him the most. He held my hand at every single session, every Tuesday for 5 months straight. So unfortunately, as a result, he lost his job for missing too much work. He put me first, and he never wanted me to have to sit there without him. So most days I forgot I was even sick, since he was always by my side, and he would keep my mind off of it and keep my mind off of everything I was going through. So we got through this battle together.
What do you love about each other?
Besides being sweet, generous, handsome, caring, the list goes on and on, Ryan is my best friend. And I love that he has the biggest heart and that he's willing to do anything for anyone. We share the same values in life, and we have the same goals, and I cannot wait to see what's ahead for our future. And I truly love Ryan with all of my heart, and I'm so glad that I took the chance at love again. My life is so much better and fuller with Ryan in it.
What do I love about Alyssa? Everything. I'm crazy about her. I wouldn't change anything about her. She's as perfect to me as I am for her. There never was or could ever be a love that compares to mine for Liz. That's why I asked her to be my wife.
Why do you deserve to be the couple of the year?
We have been through a lot of things that couples our age usually don't have to go through before marriage. But most importantly, we have a lot of love for each other. And it would be incredible if we could have a wedding of our dreams.
Yeah, I agree. I think we have overcome so much together in such a short amount of time that the thing that has gotten us through all of those experiences was the love that we have for each other. If that's not the kind of people that you're looking for, then I don't know what is. But, more than anything, honestly, I want this for her. Nothing matters more to me than seeing her happy. So, give us a shot.
I just want to say congrats on getting married. You guys are perfect compliments to each other. Love that you both have the same sense of humor. It's always fun to be around you guys, and nothing but happiness in the future. Love you guys.
Ryan and Alyssa are definitely soulmates. They feed off each other and are a blast to be around. We couldn't be happier they're getting married and can't wait to see what the future holds.
Hi, I'm Alyssa's dad. Alyssa and Ryan are so happy together. It doesn't matter if they're traveling or just playing a board game. They just love spending time together.
Ryan and Alyssa, we're so proud of you. You two have loved each other through more than most couples have had to endure in a lifetime. Ryan, you are an amazing son, and I know you will be the husband Alyssa truly deserves.
I knew that the way she lighted up over the phone that they would be together forever. They absolutely love each other to death. They have the same hopes and dreams out of life and the same goals. And I wish them the best of luck.
Alyssa's mom. Together, Ryan and Alyssa make a beautiful couple. They both truly love each other, and you can tell by the way they both smile when each other walk into the room. Congratulations and welcome to the family.
I just want to say that I am super happy for Alyssa and Ryan. I just remember the first time Alyssa was talking about him, she was getting ready to have her double mastectomy. She was talking about this guy she just met and how awesome and supportive he was, and he seriously is one in a million, and I'm so glad they found each other. He's been exactly what she needed through the hardest, scariest time of her life, and the relationship has just continued to grow, and every time I see them together it just makes me so happy. So I am super excited for this adventure they are about to embark on.
I've known Ryan Williams my whole life. He was the best man at my wedding. He's the ultimate family man, always putting his family's needs ahead of his. He was always there when Alyssa needed him during chemo. They're a fairy tale story, and they deserve everything and anything that they get. So please help them out and give them the wedding of their dreams.
I am super excited for Alyssa and Ryan for their future together. They are the perfect couple. I knew Ryan was perfect for Alyssa when they met and she was going through her journey with battling breast cancer, and he was there by her side all the time. He's an amazing guy, and Alyssa is the most awesome person, and together they're going to have a wonderful, beautiful life.
You are the epitome of amazing, and I aspire to have a love like the two of yours one day. And you deserve the world. You deserve everything. I love you guys.
Ryan came into Alyssa's life when most other people would walk out. I'm gonna get emotional. I can't talk about Alyssa's cancer journey without getting emotional. Anyways, you know, Ryan was there for her through every chemo appointment. When her hair fell out, you know, he helped her shave her head. He's been with her from the beginning. And I'm just so happy that she's found someone that will be there for her. I'm sorry. Through the good times and bad. They are one of the funnest couples. Every time we spend time with them, we have an amazing time. And I'm just so happy that they found each other. And I really believe that Ryan came into Alyssa's life at just the right time. And we're just so happy for them.
Absolutely. I agree with everything you said there.
Only without the tears. We love you, Ryan and Alyssa.
Love you guys.
Alyssa and Ryan are in love. Uncle Ryan, you are the best aunt and uncle. Can you please buy Anna with a background now so we can play Batman rid of love with a Batman? Uncle Ryan and Aunt Alyssa, I'm lucky to have you both now. You are an amazing uncle and godfather. I love you so much and are happy you found Alyssa. I knew she was the one for you. And when I first saw her, I said, wow, you're pretty. She's a perfect aunt for me.
Like, oh my god, I love Ryan and Alyssa together. They're just the perfect match.
And they lived happily ever after.